Yo, yo.
Bree,
Yep,
how
yep.
you doing over there?
I'm good, man. How y'all? How y'all?
Doing
Doing
good.
good, doing good.
Thank you for joining us. Can everybody, y'all good?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right. So how's your weekends going?
Good. So, you want to start, B?
Well, let the birthday month guy start.
The birthday month guy. He said it right. The
Happy
birthday
birthday.
month. Yes, I am another year older, 25. Glad to be here. I mean,
Yes.
you know, some days I didn't think I would make it, but here I
Being
am.
a Taurus and all, right?
Oh, being the best of them all.
Not even close.
Yes, but I had a great time with y'all. Thank you for celebrating with me.
Thank you
I-
for
it
what you
took-
can remember.
From what I can remember, I know I slept most of the night. I got up and ate a little bit, and then it took me a while to recover yesterday, but it was a good weekend. So I'm off of work tomorrow, so I'll probably be partying again tonight.
Absolutely.
Man, amen.
You know. So what's going on with y'all?
Well, last week, we forgot to have family time at the end of the show.
Okay.
You feel me? But, I've hit some unfortunate time. I was let go from my place of employment.
What has that experience been like for you? Tell us about it.
For real, this week went by so quick, like, I ain't had time to even think about not having a job, for real. But once that, sinks in, I'm just going to blame my president because he said he was creating jobs, you feel me? My man Obama was here, everything was good. Now his first year,
And this,
now, you feel
oh
me?
yeah,
So,
it's starting to take
I'm
effect.
bitter now,
Oh,
you
right.
feel me?
And you guys like, but I still don't necessarily know if we're going to learn from it because I think in America we have a way of like repeating the same old mistakes over and over again. So I think while a lot of people are more aware now, I still don't necessarily feel confident that, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
I mean,
people
I mean,
still
it's-
like him.
Right, but I think it's the start though, where the fact that he's actually is bringing awareness of people not even being in politics. A few years ago, now everyone's like into politics and being fully aware of what's going on and how
Yes.
laws affect everybody. So I think.
Yeah.
I
And
think
more
with that
people
knowledge,
are,
make it
you
better.
have like, I think it's like 500 black women that are running for office in the midterms this year. So a lot of people are getting involved now. I think that though we were just talking about this last night, this is going to be a big test for us, 2018, because it's like, it's really going to let us know, was that a mistake or like, was that really meant to happen? So,
Or did Russia interfere?
or is Facebook security right yet? No, but I think it's going to be a big test for us. So I'm really kind of excited to see like how this plays out.
Of course. Anything from you, Brie, this weekend?
Oh man. Well, my birthday's coming up. I'm turning 28 this year, and
2
so
minutes left till.
no man. I'm a Gemini, so we out here. It's almost Gemini season. And I'm excited to be out here and in this new year. As far as these political people that are out here, and me being a teacher, man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the school system over the summer with Kevin Maxwell and all of that good stuff. So I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen and transpire over the course of the next few months.
For sure. And just for me on this weekend, I'm gonna bore you with more wedding stuff, but DC Funk Festival was actually this Saturday. If you don't know what that is, it's like a day fair parade. Got music festival, celebration, culture, arts, celebrating the U Street neighborhood. But all this talk about culture and DC having culture. Can someone tell me what exactly culture is? Because I've been told I haven't watched, and don't shoot me for this, but I haven't watched the entire Love and Basketball movie. I know, and I've been told that I've got my culture card revoked. So, what exactly is culture?
Well, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with like the whole woke, like being. I think culture is just embracing. To me, what it means is just embracing your blackness, just being proud of representing the culture. I think that's really what it comes down to. No matter what shade you are, like where you're from, I feel like we all at the center of it all, we all have that thing of like.
So if you never watched any, say you grew up in any black movies, or you grew up in a white neighborhood, do you have culture, or is that still the same kind of culture, or is it different? And
I think we all have culture. I think it's a matter of embracing your culture or figuring out because all of us, it's like it's one of those things where all of us are unique, and that's what makes us great. It's like you can be, whether you're a nerd, whether you are, from the hood, whatever it is, I feel like at the end of it all, we're all it's just embracing I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but the culture.
He hasn't seen, like, what's all the street joints? Like New Jack City.
I seen Paid in
Boys
Full
in the
though.
Hood.
I seen Boys. I seen Don't Be This, and that was kind of Boys in the Hood, kind of tied into that too. Okay, I was more on the comedy side. Plus, I was a big gamer growing up. So while y'all was watching Paid in Full and New Jack City, I was trying to get my Pokemon level up. You know, so that's what it was. But I feel like, you know, just as Ty said, I think breaking it down like that, might have been part of like the nerd culture or even like a mixed breed culture, because I was like white, black at the same time. So
here's my question: what type of food is on your table on Thanksgiving? Because that's the culture.
That's definitely the culture.
Oh, then that's definitely black culture for sure, 100%.
All right then.
I got my turkey and hams and mac and cheese, and
How
I
that
do
potato salad taste. That's your culture right there.
Do
don't got walnuts in it.
Do you put nutmeg in your sweet potato casserole though?
Nah, keep it simple. My parents make it. My mom makes it. I don't even touch it. Guys not allowed to touch Thanksgiving food.
Okay.
The moms, aunties, grandmothers, all the ancestors come together.
So that's where I'll be this year then.
Thanksgiving hopping?
Yes.
We doing that, taking all the plates?
No, I've been to your people's house. I know how y'all do it. Like they throw down.
I think like historically we have to remember also that culture has shifted and it's like ever expanding in a way, because like we had a similar backgrounds like back in the day because wasn't a lot allowed for us to do. So we all grew up the same, you know. People coming from urban culture, we all kind of had the same living, you know, that stoop kid life. And then, you know, now there's different stories. People grow up differently. We have more opportunities as black people. So I think like, you know, now there's opportunities for our culture to be expansive and not just defined as just one singular thing, because we have more opportunities now.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Larry being, you know, into comics and growing up like that. And, you know, there's opportunities for growth now, and there's opportunities for us to see where we can go as a culture and not just be like single track minded as far as like what's acceptable, what's black and what's not.
But the thing is, for me though, is all of this is our culture anyway. It was taken.
Right.
So,
And I want to kind of piggyback off of what you said, but that's I'm gonna take it back to like Kanye and that situation about him saying it was a choice, and I feel like that's kind of what I was trying to say about that, is because as a people, there were certain people who did try to rebel and try to get to freedom, but we are just now at a place where we can kind of understand, oh, we can create a better life for ourselves. We do have these opportunities. And it took us hundreds of years to get to that point. So when you kind of rob people of that history and say like, oh, it was a choice, there were certain people who made a choice to not live in that situation. And as a whole, America still brought them down. So it's like, and we're just now getting to that place as a people where the opportunities are, and sometimes the opportunities still aren't there for all of us. But, you know, as a people, we do know if we apply ourselves, if we work hard, that we can attain a better life. So I think that when you say stuff like that, it's just crazy and off the wall. Sorry.
No, you're right.
No, definitely. Kanye West is he's a fool, but you know, I feel like he has an album dropping anytime coming out.
That
so
doesn't
like,
excuse it though.
But it's Kanye West though. Like he's gonna say stuff like that.
No,
bro.
that still doesn't.
He's like the Black Trump. I mean, he's gonna say whatever's on his mouth to make the numbers go. I mean, he's his whole philosophy.
Will
of
the
like,
numbers go though? Because I've been listening. He's got a feature that's out right now. This the song we were listening to. He's on with
what's that, T.I.?
No, it's someone else's song and Kanye is featured on it. And I was just listening to it and I'm like, Kanye's bars are just not good anymore.
No.
That's because he gave his graduation too. It's kind of hard to like compete with that.
Yeah,
That's a hard one. That's like one of the greatest albums of all time.
Well,
because
yeah,
he in
it
the
is.
studio with Travis Scott and Chance the Rapper. Now you need the old people, the
That's because
consequences.
Jay-Z don't mess with him no more.
I'm not
Rhyme
into the wedding.
Rhyme Fest. You
Right.
need the soulful writers he was with. He's not with the soulful people. Like your beats can be soulful if your words don't mean nothing. Then it's like you just listening to the beat at the end of the day. But yeah, he's with the newer acts and. They're really not talking about nothing. So if he's in the studio with these people, he's not going to talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Then the people that was helping him with the soulful music is probably the ones telling him like, "Yo, get your stuff together. You feel me? You can't be doing or saying the stuff you're doing." But he probably mad at them. Like he wanted to probably be around Yes Men.
You think he'll go
So
back up
the
to
people
old
that
school?
helped him make better quality music ain't the yes men type of people.
Exactly.
So he probably just don't want to be around them type of people. So the music is always going to be affected.
Right. You think he ever go back to like the classical Kanye West?
You got to go back with the people that was there. You can't recreate a sound if the people that you were there with aren't a part of the sound.
Nope.
So you see Jay-Z, when he goes towards the sound, he's gonna go get a Swiss Beats, a Timberland.
Right.
The last 444 was all no ID. So if you like American Gangster, then you're gonna know like, yo, this type of album is gonna be more soulful with the samples. If you go work with a Timberland, it's gonna be less sampley. Yeah. It still might have some soul, but like even Kanye, like Kanye was constructing these beats. Then once after like graduation, he's still credited as a producer, but he's not as hands on with the beat construction. He might start something up, somebody come in and add some pianos, like the hand beat. The hand beat was Lex Luger.
Right.
The original beat don't sound like that with the opera singer and the breakdowns. That's added. You feel me? But we want that old Kanye where he's going in, finding the samples, chopping the samples, adding the drum loops, all that. But I feel like he's trying to do everything at once. He can't even focus on the main thing that we even loved him for to begin with. Like the shoes is cool. Now he wants to be an architect and design buildings. That's all cool, but don't forget why we liked you in the first place.
Make Kanye West great again. Seriously.
Man, you can't focus on one thing, man. He's focused on too much, and I think when you overexpand yourself, things suffer. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Especially if you don't have the right people in the right places.
Exactly.
It definitely does, and I think that I feel like he's putting more of a focus on the shoes and on the Yeezy because I don't know if it's true. I never looked it up, but he said that he made more money on shoes than Jordan.
I don't believe no.
That was like a trunk bag.
He probably sold more quicker because it was such a small volume.
Right.
So he could probably have that stat over there. Like I sold quicker than Jordan. But
Jordan sells basketballs, wristbands, like
even shoes
that
by
brand, I mean, when I
itself,
heard that, I was like, maybe it was a year or a quarter or something, but
Nike probably would take a hit if it was no Jordan. If there's no Yeezy, Adidas gonna be
Adidas is
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of their other shoes look like Yeezy.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you guys. You know, this is a story that's been blowing up all over the internet. There's been a lot of stories like this recently about, you know, people just randomly getting the cops called on.
Oh man.
So you know, there was the two, I think it was two black men that were having a cookout, and a woman came over, a white woman obviously, came over and like was interrupting their cookout, telling them they weren't using the right type of charcoal or something on the grill, and she called the cops. And what happened is another lady like witnessed the situation, got involved, and things got heated. And then the original lady who was messing with the people at first wanted to play the victim and be like, oh, you guys are harassing me. And she was like visibly shaking, you know, trying to give the typical
story.
Exactly.
Build a story out.
Exactly. And so, I mean, my question is like, how much more of this needs to happen? Like, what is the solution? Because for me, I feel like these people that are wasting community resources need to be fined.
There's no solution. Here's why. There's always going to be racism. There's always going to be discrimination, prejudiceness, just because everyone's different. And as more we evolve, especially, I think it's going to get worse because right now we have more freedom, right? Just like you said, we said previously that, you know, blacks and other cultures have more freedom and more being more vocal. So I think as we become more individual, I feel like there's gonna be more issues because we want people the same as us, but we also crave to be different. And I feel like since we're all different, especially in America, we're one of the most diverse countries, if not the most diverse country in the world. This problem is not going to be ever be solved. I think it could be controlled or managed better, but I don't think it can be solely solved 100%.
Here's my thing. If you're not doing nothing wrong, who cares? Like, yeah, it might be an inconvenience. Yeah, you might have the fear of losing your life just because the police was called on you. But it's like, if you're not doing nothing, like, just the police come, they're going to talk to the lady, like, you have no right to tell them they can't barbecue, blah, 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 and then keep it moving.
But see, that's not always the case because sometimes you're going to have a cop who's not. You know, have you seen the video of the older lady that was attacked by a cop?
65 years old getting dragged out.
But this is what I'm saying. Just because you see those incidences, don't assume that every time you encounter somebody, Don't have that thought.
It's not about having.
Every time I had an altercation with a police officer, it went to the level I allowed it to go to. So I can only speak on my thing. When they come, I don't get defensive. I don't say, "Why are you stopping me?" I let him do his job. He got a job just like everybody.
So you just being a good
old boy.
How am I being a good if I'm driving a car and I'm speeding and I get pulled over, why am I going to get mad at him for pulling me over? Anytime I got pulled over
obviously that's
with a
expected
car,
that you're going to get pulled over for that.
When I didn't signal, I got pulled over. When my tail light was out, I've gotten pulled over.
Okay, so what about when I was driving a few weeks ago and I got pulled over, and when they didn't find anything, they said it was because I was driving through a high-risk area.
When you was
so it's
in the
like
car.
the thing
so
is, you
I'm not gonna
can't. These are variable
what you're
situations.
saying because you always want to play the victim.
First of all, that's far.
So
from
what
the
happened? What happened?
First of all, that's far from the
Why
truth.
did he stop
I never
you?
always want to play the
Why
victim.
did he stop you?
I told you what he said. He stopped me because he said I was driving through a high-risk area, and it was customary or something for them to search people like that.
All right, so let him search you. Why are you defensive about being searched?
Because that is an inconvenience of my day.
I feel you, but making a bigger deal of the situation is only going to make it.
It's not because, like I said, these are variable situations. So me and you know that we might have to act the right way. We're not going to take it, but everybody doesn't. Everybody is not even trained like that. Some people don't even have home training, so they're reacting based on the way that they know to react, and because of that, they lose their life.
Listen,
from the people who are supposed to
same
protect
incident.
and serve them.
I'm driving, tail light out, get pulled over. Do you know why you stopped? No, your tail light out. Oh, okay. Whole time I know the tail light is out. The car smells like weed. Does the car smell like weed? Yes. You know why? Because I smoke weed in the car. Can we search the car? It's not my car. It's my friend's car who's in the passenger. Why isn't he driving? His license is suspended. I got a valid license. Okay. Can we search the car? Look at my friend. You not searching nothing. He has his probable cause. So why are you fighting the system, making it worse? He's doing his job the way you're supposed to do the job. But everybody want to be
we can agree to disagree.
So
but
I don't agree to disagree. So now there's 5 police cars pulling up. What do you think is good? You think at this point you're just gonna go home now?
I mean, yeah, because that's happened to me. Where I've had 10 cars behind me, and I've acted a fool too.
Well, long story short, they
went
searched
home.
the car, they found weed, we went home.
If I'm not doing anything
I was in the wrong.
if you're
So I'm
bothering
not
me and
gonna
inconveniencing
why
my
are
day,
you
then I'm
coming
gonna
at me
speak
like
the way
this?
that I feel.
My man's in the car like, why are you stopping? The car don't smell like weed. Yes, it does. Like, stop making the thing worse
see,
than it is.
that
We're not going to
situation.
jail for the weed. But you know what we are going to go to jail for? For you wilding out, making a scene for no reason. Like, relax.
But
you
that's-
don't have
that
just because you're
situation,
black.
you can't
don't
apply
have to,
that
every
across-
white person
you
you
can't
see,
apply
you don't
that
have to
across
be
the
like,
board.
this is a racist white person because they disagree with one thing I say. Oh, this is a racist police because, like, for real, the black police talk to me worse than the white police. If we
I would
keeping
agree
it
with that.
funky,
I would
if we
agree
keeping
with
it
that.
funky,
I would agree with that.
Yep.
So then
So
why?
if I see a white cop, I'm supposed to be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Then I have black cops who would let me go. Larry
First
was
of all-
there. We got caught by black cops before. Y'all got weed? Yeah, we got weed. He have a talk with us.
That never happened to me.
No. He
Larry-
didn't have
From
it.
the record.
Larry
He
never
didn't have it. I had it. But we're outside together. So they talking to both of us. He can't say, oh, I'm leaving because I'm not the one with it.
Right,
No, when the
right.
police come, you have to follow their orders.
Right.
But people feel like I don't have to do nothing nobody tells. Like, no, everybody got to be accountable on their level of accountability. The police can't look at us and be like, y'all got to be accountable. And we can't look at them and be like, y'all got to be accountable if we're not being accountable.
Right, I feel like at the end of the day you do have to be compliant, but at the same time, I do like the promotion of people recording these kind of situations. So my solution would probably be in that essence would be, why don't you just be compliant, but just also record it? So then you're doing everything that you need to be doing, and then they're also
But then
getting
what about
exposed
those
as
people
well.
who reach for their phone and boom, boom, boom?
Then it's
Or how about
important.
this? Have your phone out when you get pulled over. Before
Right,
you-
it is-
Some
it's
people,
recorded.
when I like, I have anxiety issues. So when I see lights,
That's
there's
true,
so
though.
much going on in
I
my
feel
head
you.
that I don't even have time to think about.
Even if you
grabbing
have
the phone.
nothing on it, even if you have nothing in your
Hey,
car, it's like,
exactly.
Just the way you say the police need to train, we need to be trained in our ways of dealing with them. So it's the same way.
No.
How
I
is it
don't
not?
know.
How is it not?
We need to be
You're
trained on
telling
how to
them
interact
they-
with the police.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
That is crazy.
If you're telling them, yo, y'all gotta be trained, and then they get trained, and then they come to us with their new training,
So
and we telling them, no, y'all gotta get trained again. Y'all gotta do no. Like,
Okay,
we gotta
so
know
what
how to
you're
deal with
saying
them,
is
and
now-
we gotta know when they say this is a lawful order. You gotta know what a lawful order is, and if you don't comply to that lawful order, you're committing a crime. But you guys don't want to know what a lawful order is. You don't really want to know what is a proper traffic stop, because you know you ain't signal and you yelling at the cop, why you wasting my time? Blah, 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 blah. Now he running your stuff. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in general.
Exactly.
In general.
And that's why I said these are not general.
But everything we
situations,
say
are
on these
variable
microphones is
situations.
a general statement or
not.
question.
It's
How is it
not.
not? All right, so next topic, and I'm gonna point out all the generalizations.
Before we move on to the next topic, I just want to say that I think, Brandon, you do bring up a lot of valid points, in that we do need to be aware of how to deal with police, and we don't need to escalate the situation any further than it has to go. However, there are situations where no matter what you do, you're seen as a threat. No matter how nice you are, no matter how presentable you are, you're seen as a threat by some individuals who are only there not to protect and serve, but to harass and threaten, but to, kind of make you feel like they're the authority and put that authority in. And you're right, they are the authority. So in those situations, it is in our best interest for us to kind of like take a step back and say, all right, let me not escalate the situation. But we still need to be able to hold cops accountable, because their job is to be trained.
You do that through the court system, not during the
We
traffic.
shouldn't have to go through all
No,
that.
that's
We
what
shouldn't
When
have
is
to
the
go
last
through
time that a
all
cop
that.
has been convicted of anybody's
Ex-
murder?
That's
And
not
exactly,
the point. That's not the, if you're being unlawfully arrested, you don't tell the cop right then and there, no, you can't arrest me. You let him arrest you, and you go through the proper chains of commands. The problem is people who don't know nothing about the law, who talk to their friends, and they're going to tell you a cop who went and is trained about how to, cops do the wrong thing. Nobody's perfect. But you don't hold court in the street. They don't convict you in the street.
When they convict you, when they murder you in the street,
right. But that's what I'm
robbing
saying.
you of your
You're
opportunity
only
for a trial by
do you
jury.
have the power of the badge? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one in the trouble. They're going to be gone. Good. So what's the point of making the situation worse for you?
The thing
it don't make no sense.
I agree with
You're
you.
accountable for
I'm just
you.
saying,
Until
general, these
somebody
are not
goes
general
over
situations.
you and does something
like
to you,
said,
there's nothing you
Bree,
can do.
There are people who do everything by the book, who do the right thing, and they still end up. So you can't say that,
All right,
if
so
you
if you
act
add
the
up
right way or if you do the right thing.
those amount of people compared to the other amount
It
of people.
doesn't matter. So what if my life is taken and I was doing the right thing?
All
And
right,
my life was taken
so compared
unjustly?
to
That's
the amount
not
of
fair.
people the police help compared to the people that they kill, which number is greater?
But we supposed to give them a badge for
living in
doing
your
their
fear.
job.
Exactly.
Wait a
No.
minute.
What I'm saying
Wait a
is
minute,
the
man.
same thing you
Exactly.
complaining to them that they look at you like you're a criminal and you're this and that.
Right.
You're doing the same thing to them. So talk to the individual police officer. You know what I hate the most?
Of course.
This is what I hate the most. When you get a Mike Brown, right, and he gets killed, and then you get something in Oklahoma, and you be like, look how these cops went in there and didn't kill nobody. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody. That has nothing to do with
It
these
does,
are
because
individual
policing
people.
should- first of all-
These are
first
individual
of all, there's
people.
no
just like
national
this, just like the way
policing,
you
there's
say
no
you had
national group
anxiety
of-
and you be panicking. There's somebody who don't
Brandon,
got anxiety,
let's not talk over
who
each
don't
other.
panic.
Let's give other
All right, go
people a
ahead.
chance
Go
to
ahead.
speak.
Go ahead with your
Now,
generalized statement again.
I feel that there's no national system of policing. Like the
Exactly.
federal government doesn't run police associations across America, and so I feel like if there were like a nationalized system, then there could be more of a training system where police across the country do receive the same training,
Exactly.
and they do.
No, because you know why that's going to happen? Because then you're going to be like, well, what happens in Oklahoma has nothing to do with me. So why are you training the people in Oklahoma the same way you training me?
Well,
It's
that's
the
your
same
opinion,
thing.
but I do feel that if
You
the
can't
government
make
were to get
one
involved
set of
on
rules
that,
for
then I
everybody.
think that would make a difference.
No, it would not, because
A
you still
small
have,
difference
you still
as
have
far as
things-
training
All right, so
goes.
listen, look at all the jobs you ever had and the way that they trained you. You never went outside of your training.
Well, of course you.
Okay,
I mean,
then. So if you
duh.
train a cop in Atlanta, he's not going to do the same thing that the cop in California doing, even if you train them the same way, because they are individuals.
But you can make a you can make a
No,
basic
you can't make general
You,
because
you
he said
can
you can't
because
do
it's
it.
done in the military.
I didn't-
Because when you're in the military, you're not fighting just one
We
set of
in the
people.
studio,
You're not
Tyra said
going
no
against-
generalization, so we can't generalize now.
Like seriously, that's not what I said. And
That's exactly-
you guys got what I was saying.
No,
that
we don't.
These situations where these people are interacting with the cops, they are variable situations.
All right, so what
And
about
you-
all the
you
variables
absolutely
where they
understood
go
because
the
you
right
said
way that you don't want
people
to
do play
bring
by the
into
book and they do
consideration?
still end up dead. So that was my saying of.
So
this is
what
not a
about the ones that
generalized
don't don't end up dead that you're not willing to recognize.
Like you
Because
said,
you
they're
wanna be
just
the
doing their
victim.
They're doing
job.
their job. They
You
shouldn't
want
get
to
a
be the
cookie for that.
victim. So the same
No,
way,
nobody
how?
wants to be a victim.
Yes, you are, because
you
you're
don't
not,
leave your house thinking,
so,
"Oh, I'm gonna
so
get
when's
pulled
the
over by
last
a
time
cop
you
and I'm gonna
said,
be a
yo,
victim
that cop
today."
did a good job? When the cop don't kill the person, you complaining about the cop that do kill the person. You
Because
don't
the
say,
cop
yo,
that
this
don't
is a
kill
good
person
cop. He did his job. He ain't have to do this and that. Blah blah blah. He talked the guy down. But when the guy do it good, you don't want to bring acknowledgement to it. But when they do something bad,
That's what
I
they're
see my group
supposed to
chat.
do.
No, it's not.
That's what they're
no,
supposed to do.
No, it's not.
No,
The same way,
Anyways,
the same
let's
way you
take a
can
breather,
critique somebody
guys.
for doing the wrong
Let's take a
thing,
breather,
you can
guys.
critique the people for doing the right thing. But you just want to be like, yo, he's bad, he did this. But you never once ever said when somebody's doing a good thing. When did the cop do something right in your lifetime? Never.
I did not say that. I come in. I have been helped by.
No,
plenty of
now
cops,
you just said
and
that's
I
their
thank
job.
them
That's what
for
they're
doing their
supposed to do.
job.
That's what they're supposed to do.
I
Let's get outta
salute.
here.
I salute
Y'all
you.
can be the victim. All
Let me
y'all
bow
want
at
to
your
be the victim.
feet for helping me, cops.
Being the victim is not getting you nowhere.
I do not like playing the victim, and I would never try to
All right.
intentionally play the
Next
victim.
time,
so that's what
I want to know who you gonna call when somebody break in your house or do some wild stuff to you. Who you calling?
I have never seen anything against cops. Like you're making these assumptions, these
go ahead. Yeah,
these
you're being
generalizations. I've never said any. I'm thankful for cops.
Brandon, you can't invalidate people's experience.
No, what I'm
because-
saying is I'm holding the people that do the wrong things accountable, and the people that don't, I'm not holding them accountable to somebody else's actions. If I get pulled over by the police, I'm not worried about what the guy did to Mike Brown, looking at him like blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
absolutely.
If he makes the situation worse, I'm just going to have to deal with it. If he shoots me, then I'm dead. But I'm not about to sit there and tell him what I am and am not getting
he
arrested for.
shoots me,
If I through the proper
And that's the
protocol.
quality
I mean,
of life.
exactly.
It go from-
exactly.
it
Sometimes
go
you're
from
gonna
being
face
pulled
an
over-
inconvenience in your life.
It go from
Everything
being
ain't just
pulled
sweet.
over for a broken tail light to if he
you
kill
shoot-
me, I'm dead,
exactly.
and I just gotta
Do
chill
you
like
realize
that.
the
But this is
power
what
of
I'm.
that?
But this is what I'm saying. The people that go in with the mindset, this is it. I gotta stand up. No, you're the one who's gonna make the situation worse.
But I ain't gonna let
I'm
nobody
gonna do
violate my
everything the
rights
best
either.
to
I'm
my
gonna-
ability, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Whatever he do, I'm in no control of it. But I'm not gonna go and talk to him like he's not doing his job.
So, speaking of all this acknowledging and being able to see all this police tragedy, what the hell did we do before cell phones even came out?
We prayed,
That-
we prayed, and we just
Fasted.
yes sir, no
But
sir.
according to tyrants, the cameras don't mean nothing because they don't get charged. So who cares if it was cameras or anything anyway, right?
First of all, you keep putting words in
I
my
didn't.
mouth. I've never
You know
said
you're
the
being
If
recorded,
it
right?
wasn't for the
You know
cameras,
you're being
obviously
recorded,
the cameras
right?
made the difference
You're
in the
being
ones who were
recorded.
discovered. I
How?
would never say
How
that the
did it-
cameras don't
so
mean anything.
Mike,
I
Sterling,
said for me personally,
the guy
when I
in-
see
in-
lights,
in New
I
Jersey.
don't reach for my phone because there's a lot going on in my head. So I don't think to reach for a phone. So for me, no, a phone wouldn't help. But obviously, in the murders that have been discovered that we've seen, the camera helped.
So,
Duh, if
so
it
the
wasn't
dude
for
that
that, we
got
wouldn't
what's
be
the
paying
dude name that
attention
got
to
choked
it.
out for selling the Lucy's in New York?
Oh, you talking about not Philando? You talking about
Eric Garner.
Yeah.
Eric
I
Garner.
can't breathe.
So was that not on camera?
What are you talking about? Duh, it was on camera.
So what do the camera got to do with anything if we
I
got it or
never
not?
said that. I never said the camera had nothing to do with anything.
I'm saying that.
Run
So,
the tape back.
The camera don't mean nothing because they're
Show me the
police.
receipts, Diane.
I would if you send us the show every week.
I sent you the link to it.
No,
Thank
you
you very
didn't.
much.
No, you didn't.
It's on Spreaker.com.
No, you
So you
didn't.
can go on there.
You showed me the
Spotify,
police
iTunes.
oppression. That's the links you send me all day. Like I don't want to see that. I walk by police every day. They don't say nothing to me. I don't want negative energy in my. Oh, the police did this. Oh, the white people did this. Oh
Brandon,
my God.
can I ask you a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Where you from, bro?
I'm from Maryland.
Okay, you been here all your life, man?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a difference. As somebody who's lived in various places, it's a difference depending on where you live at. And I can attest to the fact that it's different. Cops act different in Philadelphia than they do in the suburbs, PG, Montgomery County, even in some parts of DC. So I think like cops' attitudes and people's attitudes are also dependent on where you're from. If you're having bad experiences with cops, if cops are stopping and frisking you like they do in New York, just for walking down the street, and you're getting stopped constantly daily by a number of cops, then you're gonna have a certain attitude towards them. But if you're just like you, who may not ever had a bad encounter and experience, you may have these views, but you cannot, like I said, you can't invalidate somebody for their experience and saying that I'm gonna be defensive or I'm gonna be on guard when I get stopped by a cop because I don't know what their intentions are, and they have so much power over my life. It's life or death, literally, for some people. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like in an instance, you can't fault somebody for reacting the way they can. You can make suggestions and say, listen, you shouldn't be combative. You should understand that, cops, they're trained to do stuff. You should understand that you should be willing to listen to them and respond how they want you to respond. But at a certain point, where does your value as a human being say, look, I'm not going to let you just talk to me any kind of way. I'm not going to let you just do me any kind of way just because you wear that badge. Because at the end of the day, you're here to protect and serve.
So you're going to tell him, or you're going to go follow the proper procedures, because talking to him is not solving no problem.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make
your
it.
situation worse. That's the only thing.
But it shouldn't be like that. Your feelings shouldn't be hurt because of what I'm saying to you. You're an officer of the law. You should be trained. If I'm saying something to you, I'm just saying words. I'm not using my hands. If you was a cop,
you would be the same way. If somebody
but that's why I'm not a cop.
Just the way I'm talking to you right now, and I'm irritating you.
I'm not a cop.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm not a
cop.
cop.
But this is the thing. You're a teacher. So you complain about people's kids. Oh, I'm not a babysitter. Oh, I'm not this. Oh, I'm not that. You chose your occupation. They chose their occupation. Every occupation is going to have its negative things. The other week we talk about servers.
Like Chris Rock said. I'll use this example. Like he said, every occupation does have a few, but that's just like Southwest or American Airlines. They can't be like, oh, we just got a few bad pilots. All the other ones like to land, but just a few of them like to crash in the mountains every once in a while.
But how many crash in the mountains? So that's a bad analogy.
It's not a bad analogy.
How many
because
crash in the
they
mountains?
don't. That's the point. They don't.
Is it because of the plane or the pilot?
That's the point.
What do you think is more of the reason why the plane doesn't crash? Because of the plane or because of the pilot? Because I think if the plane says we're crashing, there's nothing the pilot can do in that situation.
That's not true, because did you not see Southwest Airlines a few weeks ago? They lost the whole wing and that lady landed a plane.
Hey, bro.
They didn't crash in the mountains.
Exactly, because
right.
she was trained.
If the plane says crash in the mountain, it's crashing in the mountain.
That's not true. Look at Sully.
He
landed a plane on a bay.
Yeah. Because he finessed it. But if there was no bay there and it was mountains, guess where he's going? The mountain.
Because of his training, is what I said.
No,
when you are faced in a hostile situation, you get training.
So, all right, so look. So don't you think there's at least one pilot that would have panicked in that situation?
Of course, you're human.
So are you going to say all pilots are bad?
Well, until that happens, then we can't say that.
Yeah, because
when I see that headline, that's when I'll say.
But your analogy was the worst analogy. So yeah.
That was not a worst analogy.
Yes, it was.
Everybody else got the analogy.
No, because
I think so.
Y'all are.
Maybe we just need to send you back to remedial training.
Hey, I'm the only one making this show lit.
No, Brandon.
Y'all want to be black, white, this and that, oppression. Where is the fun? Where's the fun?
We're gonna put Brandon on a little timeout.
Hey, all my people are feeling me right now. So we are not victims. Yes, bad things happen. Who cares about these white people? Who cares about these police? Live your life. If you're not about to be out here doing organizations, going against trying to do police reform, guess what? Your opinion do not mean nothing to me. You're just a voice amongst voices. Go out and do action. Then I will respect it. Play the next song.
So, speaking of disrespect and bad things, R. Kelly actually got his playlist deleted from Spotify. So actually, I got the Spotify. They have this new policy called the no hate content policy, and it's actually 3 days ago they've created this policy, and it says, however, we do not tolerate hate content on Spotify. Content that expressly and principally promotes, advocates, or incites hatred or violence against a group or individual based on characteristics. We were alerted about content that violates our policy. We may remove it. At the same time, however, it's important to remember that cultural standards and sensitivities vary widely. There will always be content that is acceptable in some circumstances, but is offensive in others. And we will always look at the entire context. So based on that new policy, I want to see. I wonder how they the whole process is of looking at how to determine what is offensive and what's allowed, because a lot of songs nowadays, right? They're very vogue. They have explicit lyrics. So how do you think they actually monitor what's allowed and what's not allowed?
Whatever gets the most complaints.
They picky.
I was gonna say this is a PR move. They sacrificed R. Kelly for PR. No. I think that the companies are always, especially when you look at how Starbucks reacted to their whole situation, like companies are always looking for a next, like they have crisis negotiators and whatnot to just look for situations just to make them look better.
But R. Kelly's song, I mean, is his music really the worst music on Spotify?
It's
I
not,
mean,
but at the same
No.
time, I personally feel like his music, because they really didn't remove his music, they're just not promoting it in playlists anymore.
Right.
His music is still available to stream on Spotify and Apple and everything. So I think that, I mean, first of all, well, because we'll take it back to the Bill Cosby thing. He hasn't been convicted of anything.
he has now. He has now.
Oh, he has?
He has now, yes.
Okay, well, all right.
He's
Well,
going to
thank
jail
you.
for
I
it.
didn't know that. So then, if that's the case, well, then I think that the law has spoken. So I think that that should be the gauge.
But who
Because
else?
personally, my personal opinion about it is his music should be removed anyway. I think that these accusations are like too serious, too crazy, and just I don't think that all of these people are just making up sideways crap.
What if he
mess
don't
like
own
this.
the music and he don't make money off the music, and there's other people that didn't do these crimes that make money off the music?
That's a good.
That
But
is-
y'all don't care about that type of stuff because you guys are the outraged people that just think about, oh,
Here
this guy
we
did
go.
this.
First of all, let's stop. Let's stop
You don't have to
doing
make
the-
everything
right,
so
seriously,
combative.
let's stop doing the
You
you
don't have to
guys
make
are. Like
everything
we're just
all
all having
combative.
a conversation.
But that I'm
Like,
talking
let that
about
go.
people in general are the
Okay.
outraged people.
All right.
Oh, he's off the playlist, but he's still on Spotify. So what's the difference?
I do agree.
You half in and half out. These are the things I do not respect. Take him off your platform completely.
That's what I said.
But y'all
That's what I
people
said.
fall for the marketing of everything.
Who else should be?
Remove
So
them.
you think? Do you think that hip hop's gonna be targeted the most?
No, because we're the most streamed genre of music, and they want our money. That's why. So all these people who talk about drugs, guns, women, they're not about to do that. They about to pick and choose. TK is in jail. TK hasn't been convicted. How many white artists and other artists have been convicted of crime? There's people who've been convicted or charged with crimes, leave the country and get Academy Awards, and their movies still get played. They still got their credentials. So what are we saying?
So you think it's more instead of the lyrical content of the song? You think it's
No,
more
it's
so, more
outraged people saying we don't like this at this moment, and they say, "Oh, we got you because we want to be the
Yeah,
good
that's
guys."
what I'm
That's all
saying.
it is.
Spotify just capitalized on that. They,
Right.
they like so.
Because you know what? Apple Music did it before Spotify, but nobody made a big deal about Apple Music. They made the big deal about Spotify.
You got a point about the outrage thing though, because I do find it like weird that it's like, oh, I'm gonna take his music off, but you have the choice to not listen to it.
Exactly.
It's as easy as not pressing play. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not getting as many streams, that's still hurting his pockets. But it's also not taking away from those who are getting, the residual income off of royalties and other things like that, producers and everybody else who was involved on the projects. So it's like, why do we have to eliminate everything as if it doesn't exist? It's still art. It's still a part of history and what history is. But you're taking away from it because people are outraged when they can simply just not play the song.
What about this though? What about the songs he wrote for other people that y'all will crank all day and bump
And that's
it all
another
day? Is that not R. Kelly?
Tis true.
Or you don't care about that?
No, I surely don't.
It's all like, nope.
I don't.
I mean, at the expense of art, man, you look at all of these people who have done terrible things throughout history, and the fact is that because there's not a videotape for it, or because there's not something that's on the record and it's just word of mouth, and the history books chose to remember them as such, as other things, they're not even, it's like they get to live on. Their dynasty gets to live on, and then when we make a mistake or when things happen, now everybody is on film and they're like,
The
oh, shut it
Kennedys
down,
built their
shut it down.
empire off of bootlegging alcohol, but yet everybody want to talk about how Jay-Z is a former drug dealer
Oh,
and this and
man.
that, but y'all don't say nothing about the Kennedys because people
Right.
are choosers. They pick and choose what they want. If you like one person and don't like another person, you're going to defend the one you like and then go against the one you don't like. It's in everything we do. I do it too. I still like Chris Brown. It's
love
messed
Chris
up
Brown.
what he did.
I was just about to
I
ask
like
that. I
Chris
love Chris
Brown.
Brown too. And
If
that was
somebody
going to
else
be
did
my
the
next
same thing, Chris
question.
Brown, that I didn't like, I would not like him, and I would use that for my reasons of not liking him. So when y'all do it and I call people out, don't say, I don't do this. You're general. We all generalize. We all generalize. We all pick and choose. I just say when I'm generalizing and when I'm picking and choosing, I'm going to tell you at that moment. I'm not going to act like, no, I'm impervious to the feelings of being biased to my opinions. No, I'm biased, and I'm going to tell you, look, this is my opinion. I'm biased.
Right.
Don't tell me you're not biased about your opinion. because you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. But nobody want to be that real.
Chris Brown good though.
Chris Brown is top 5 dead or alive best talented people walking the earth.
I mean, yeah.
Challenge Gambino definitely makes that list too though. Man, this is America, man. That was did y'all watch the video?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did y'all think of it?
What video?
This is America.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I think that he is like the genius of our time right now. He's like the way he's using his platform for TV,
Movies,
for
Star
But
Wars.
his girl is white though. Y'all like that.
I didn't
I don't
say
mind.
that.
Larry,
Y'all
Larry's
like
not
it.
against that.
Nah, y'all
don't
like
think
it.
that-
I'm marrying someone that's not even black.
No, I'm not talking about Larry.
I'm so over the whole
I'm talking about y'all
conversation. Like, why do we still?
pro-black and can't accept nuance in anything?
I don't even know why we still have conversations about interracial marriage.
We had.
I think I'm
I-
so,
That's the
stupid.
only
It's so
conversation I've been
stupid.
seeing all week.
I know what you're talking about. People are like, how are you woke? And you're like, no, and I think that's crazy.
Because I'm black, that's why.
Exactly. Like that still takes
Exactly.
yeah.
Brandon, did you saw my post on Facebook the other day where we kind of had that debate about his wife or whatever,
Yeah.
and people were saying, oh well, you can't be woke if you're not with somebody that can relate to your experience. And I'm saying, but you being able to relate to your own experience should be enough. Every day I wake up and my skin is black, that should be enough. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be about who I'm with or who I'm rocking with, as long as they support me in what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, 'cause
And you
it's
can only
love.
also
That's
talk
what it
about
is,
your
yeah.
own experience, because can you imagine how much pressure she must be under, like
Oh,
dating
man.
him, and how I'm sure she hears
Oh,
Yo,
whispers.
you saw the
like,
Atlanta episode, right? When they go to Drake house.
mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And the girl like the black
Spoiler
guy,
alert.
but he's
Exactly.
dating the white girl.
Right.
Uh-huh.
right.
So she literally mean mugging her. Like all
Exactly.
her friends break up, they go have fun. She literally following the famous black guy she like with the white girl. So they sitting down, she's staring at the white girl. The white girl look at her, she's like, yeah, I'm staring at you. You taking all the good black brothers. She's talking about, the white girl tell her, yeah, like, I helped pay for his classes and this and that when he had nothing, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys don't be knowing the story. Or like, we don't know these people's lives.
Right.
Like, you see a picture and be like, oh, this and that. Like, he could have been knew her. Like, we thinking like, oh, the white girl get the rich black guy. But the whole time, what if she was there when he had nothing? You
Right.
don't know.
It's kind of like Dear White People too, where the main character, she's like she's basically an activist for pro-black, for the black community, but then she also has a white dude, and she doesn't really get really praises for that. So it's like just interesting seeing how their chemistry is and how she kind of how she deals with life.
Then season 1 of Atlanta, when it was the black girl and the white African American study professor, who was more of a coon, the black guy who dated the white girl, or that black woman who was dating the white professor? She was the more of the coon, bougie. I want to be white, but everybody look at the black guy and be like, oh, he's a sellout. No, you don't know nothing. Shut up. That's all it is. Like, if you're in love, why is you worried about who somebody else is in love
Well,
with?
I think that's half the problem. A lot
And then
of
this is
people
another
don't know
thing,
what love is.
like people, like I've watched like interviews and it's like black women, so they're like, yeah, so let's run down the list of like black men who dated white women. None of these black women wanted these black men. Who wanted Key and Peele? Nobody wanted them.
Nobody.
Right.
But now you're complaining that they're with a white person. But if they were just single and you didn't know their occupation,
No
you
second
wouldn't
looks.
check for them. So people just want to
They
complain.
did it to Wanda Sykes. She married
Yeah, I
a
saw this really interesting post the other day, and it was really good because I think I sent y'all this picture, but like one of my Facebook friends had a photo of Donald Glover, and I don't know if he was acting or something, but it was a photo of him kissing a guy. But we know he's straight, so I think maybe he was doing a play or something. But the guy was like, "Whoa, flag on the play! How you woke and you talking like doing these things?" And I think that's interesting because it goes in hand with what y'all said about nobody wanting Key and Peele. And I think in the black community, a lot of times if you're different or quirky or something, you're automatically flagged as gay or whatever it is. And I think that also could go hand in hand because I think masculinity is always like on this test of like, what's right, what's accepted, what's wrong. You can't look a certain way. You can't hold your hand a certain way. You can't do all of these things. And I think in our community, that is like such a divisive issue. And I think that we just need to get a handle on that.
Right. But do you think it's getting better though as the years are coming?
I mean, I can't really say that because I mean I was like I would talk about my neighbor the other day. I overheard a conversation and I don't want to mention any names obviously, but this is a neighbor. She always speaks to us, you know, always has been nice and cool and everything. But I was in the house one day and I overheard her a general conversation on the phone, and she was talking about I guess a gay guy. And she was like, "Oh, he a F word. He
Right.
you know what I'm saying?" And he be telling me how he be taking like doing like general conversations like that, and I'm like, when I hear stuff like that, I think because you act cool with us, like you talk to us, but then talk about us like behind our back. So it's like those situations too in our community. Like you have gay people in your family, and you're cool when they come around, but then when they leave, it's like
But
you're talking junk about them.
It's kind of like how the meme I saw like this this black lady and she was saying like hey honey, and then like she was like look at those shoes that she wearing. So it's like kind of the same thing where like I feel like
Generally accepted now. It's
yeah, it's
better.
like way open now.
But yeah, I think that we do still have a long way to go.
I think it's definitely getting better. I mean they
You
have
know, so
even
funny because he got quiet. We finally found something to shut Brandon up.
I don't got nothing to say about this. I don't care what other people do.
No, I'm
And
just messing
you
with
know what though? That's the first thing that I've heard you say, and that's one of the reasons why I deal with you because it's at this. I think everybody should have that mindset. You know, stay in your own lane. Worry about what's going on with you, and everything else shouldn't bother you. Whether you're raising your kids one way or you talk to your kid. I don't want to see my kids exposed to this. Talk to your kids. Be open and have an honest dialogue, and don't shut your kids out because at the end of the day, this world is different. It's changing, and we can't treat people like they're pariahs just because they're different. You know what I'm saying? If it's not what you like, then don't like it. You don't have to deal with it. Why should what I do, simply just like the white lady with the barbecue, why should what I do influence you? Why are you so worried about it? She could have kept on walking.
Right.
You could have
What, you
kept
want a
on
burger
moving.
or
Right.
something?
You know what I'm saying? You hungry, we can feed
Yes.
you. But it shouldn't matter what anybody else is doing with their life, whether they're doing in their bedroom, what they're doing with their finances, what they're doing with their kids, whoever they choose to be.
So I agree with that, right? But let's go back on the kids. You guys see the video last week where this kid is basically in the store throwing stuff around. He's on a leash, which is the first mistake already. But he's throwing stuff in the store. The manager comes to the mom and he's like, "Hey, can you take care of your kid?" And the mom's like, "I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just he's just here type thing." So do you think spanking should be taken out?
No.
No.
Because
I'm not really like I would spank, but I don't feel like I would spank my children if I had.
now that they're throwing stuff around, oh, they wouldn't even do that.
It's like, I don't know how she
probably.
raised
All
him
you
to
gotta
that
do is give him
point
that
to
look.
where the
Right.
child.
It's all in the
But what I'm
look.
saying is, we don't know how old was the child.
It's like
He looked
4,
about
3.
4 or
All right, so
5.
like we don't know how he was raised up until that point. Like,
No, but it's like why don't you just not bring him to the store?
Well, we don't know her situation.
she got to go
either.
to the store. She got to go to the
Nah,
store.
he's staying his bad self in the car.
Nah,
And
she's
she's
going
to
to
jail.
jail because
Yeah.
she
With that,
left
with
the kid
the
in
way
the
the
car.
kid was, it was probably worth it. I mean, because like first, I don't believe in the leashes, but I understand if you know that's why he probably was acting like a German Shepherd. But I don't think that I think the whippings you don't have to whip your child growing up for your child to behave. But my mom used to give me the death stare, and I would just quiet up 100%. So and I wouldn't even be allowed. I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now to this day if I was acting that way. But it is interesting seeing like people's perceptions of like spanking and what really works or not. But I think the mom should have just immediately left the store as soon as the manager came over and was like, "Hey, can your kid stop doing this?" And the kid's like literally cussing the manager out, and she's just sitting there like,
Yeah,
"I don't know
he
what
talks
to
to
do."
her like that. She don't know what to do. She need help.
I mean,
Yeah, she needs the leash.
you know what it looked to be like if it wasn't her child, maybe it was grandma or something like that, or even if it was her
But
child.
we know parents.
Yeah,
we know mothers that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that like that. Exactly.
Real
You,
loose.
I don't think that spanking should be the first line of defense for any child. I think that you have to find what's right for your child. I was raised by two different women. I was raised by my mom first, and then my aunt actually ended up raising me from the time I was 9 on. And my mother, she used to beat me. You know what I'm saying? She used to do a lot of stuff, whippings with the extension cords, so on and so forth. But when I moved with my aunt, she didn't do that. She took a different approach. She was more patient with me, And that helped me in the long run with issues with anger, you know, because of my circumstance. Like you said, you don't know what that child has to go through. I had to go through drugs and dealing with all of that stuff, living in the inner city and all of that. And coming from that, having anger issues, my aunt knew that she had to take a different route because you couldn't beat the anger out of me. You know, you're just going to make me worse. So I think you have to learn how to take different approaches, whether you have to put that child in therapy, whether you have to, you know, sit down and talk to that child, whether the child actually just wants attention, because sometimes, a lot of times, kids act out because they're not getting that attention. And they're not getting that time, that one-on-one time that they so desperately crave because we're busy, we're trying to do things with our lives. And, you know, as soon as the kid acts up, we want to just, let me beat this kid and beat him into submission. We have to do better than that. We have to learn how to talk to our kids and figure out what's going on with them, because children have emotions too, and we can't forget that. I think sometimes in the black community, we forget, like, we're told to be, you know, stay in a child's place and, you know, keep your mouth closed and all that stuff, and we have to break free of that tradition because, you know, sometimes you feel a certain way and you can't be invalidated because, oh, I'm not old enough. That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really start listening to our kids, like what's going on with them, and maybe some things in our mental health area would kind of, you know, be solved or rectified if we started doing that.
So basically, you're saying the leash had the leash.
Nah.
Because she was like so confused. She was like, I don't know. He never acted like that in my life. That's another thing I hate when people, parents say, like, he's never done this before. Yes, he has. He does it all the time at home. Every single day. He did at Target before he came here.
Exactly.
He was throwing his Power Rangers around. This is your 5th store today. You still ain't get that bar and soap.
Exactly.
Amen.
So guys, I wanted to bring this up really quickly. You know, we're working on another project in addition to this, and we just got a date. So, do y'all want to talk? Should we tell the people about it, what we're doing?
It should be a teaser. Should be like a summertime present, or should
Nah, don't tell them until we do the date.
We're gonna drop the promo.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
Because I could die tomorrow at the end of the
No, no. He's gonna be alive.
We got a big project coming though. It's gonna be major, and yeah, I'm so excited. So, guys, we are just taking over the DMV, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're gonna be more active in the community as well. We are actually searching some community service spots, some food banks, and so forth.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to not only be on the radio, but also share our face with you guys too, and all these beautiful faces. Especially mine's the most seasoned one.
But beard grown and the patches is less visible.
Oh, you mad because you got a mustache.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for being here with us. You're welcome anytime. So, Larry, any final thoughts? Anything?
real quick, I'd just like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. You know.
We were supposed to lead with that. We didn't.
Mama.
Yeah, but I forgot how we started.
Started with
Right in.
Yeah, DC Funk Fest stuff out the way, so that's kind of, you know.
And Happy Mother's Day to the single fathers who take care of their kids that get no love.
There's a lot of mommy daddies.
Can we
baby mommy
can't
daddies.
reserve that for Father's Day?
Exactly.
And y'all hold it
And the
down.
mothers who are not mothers but are still mothers, like the
Amen.
people, you know, the indirect mothers, the aunts,
Aunties.
exactly.
And the moms that got kicked out of 5 targets because their badass child
Yes.
was on a leash. That
all
mom,
matter
Happy Mother's Day
today.
to you too.
All
Well,
moms matter.
all moms matter.
All moms matter.
All right, guys, we will meet you right back here next Sunday at 1. For more of for more of BLT, you can keep up with us on Facebook. We're on Spreaker. We're going to be on iTunes, Spotify, all of that. So we'll keep the details coming. Just follow us on Facebook, and we'll meet you right back here next Sunday.
What?